All kinds of rubbish on the show for you tonight. We've got film of Edwyn Collins, the Blue Aeroplanes, They Might Be Giants. We've got interviews with the Mock Turtles, and excellent, fantastic, wonderful Edward Ball of the Times. Here's that kind of mishmash they do at the front.
Edward Ball's been making records since as far back as 1977 when he was part of O-Level. He then went on to join the TV personalities and to form Teenage Film Stars, but he's probably been at his most comfortable over the past few years when he's been known as The Times.
I prefer The Times now, it's just me.
Well, is The Times just you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I record all by myself, do all the stuff by myself, all the vocals, everything. It used to be a proper band, but 4 or 5 years ago, it was a proper quartet, and we used to do tours, and we did all that. We did it. It was good fun, but I wouldn't want to do it now. Manchester, Manchester, England. Manchester, I'll always love you. We went to see New Order, G-mex, brilliant gig. Happy Mondays was supporting, absolutely fantastic, brilliant show. We went to the hacienda afterwards for the party, you know, as you do, and I mean that was the point that changed my life, because there's Tony Wilson sitting in the corner holding court on a pile of cushions, and there's Hooky walking around looking for people with southern accents to take the mickey out of, and I mean these are like internationally famous people within can I buy you a drink distance. It was just pretty good, and there was all sorts of highs going down, especially emotional highs, and that's why it's a love song. So that's what it's based on. So it's not a piss take. Manchester, Manchester, but you want drugs, don't you, Rachel? That's what you're talking about. We're sitting in the snow bar, waiting for Jace the Ace. Hooky's by the jukebox, doing his splendid to entertain. Look at Tony Wilson, live on Channel 4. But for Rodney Marsh, 'cause best on sale again.
Worried that people might accuse you of jumping on the bandwagon, even though you did record it and do it a long time ago.
That's right, long before. But it's, I mean, yeah, people say, yeah, what do you know about it? It's just jumping a bandwagon. You're a southerner. That's true, but okay, well, you can look at film directors like Karel Reisz, who made that film Saturday Night, Sunday Morning, and Antonioni, who made Blow Up. Joseph Losey, who made The Servant. They were all foreigners. They were all foreign film directors making films about British life and about young British people. And I can't think of, apart from Lindsay, I can't think of any British director who could compare to them. And it was just, they were outsiders, but they were brilliant observationists. And I'm not saying that Manchester's a brilliant song, but I think it's a good observation of Manchester now.
Theatre stuff that you've done, what exactly have you been involved in?
It's mainly Joe Orton, Stephen Berkoff type stuff on a fringe level.
What exactly did you do with them?
Well, I suppose the most notable one was Up Against It. It was stumbled across it in 1978, first time I heard about it, and that was Malcolm McLaren wanting the Sex Pistols to do it, and they just started filming Who Killed Bambi. And McLaren found this thing that Orton had written for the Beatles in 1967, just before his death, and it's an outrageous piece of it was a screenplay, so it wasn't theatre then, and he was commissioned to write it as the follow-up to Help. And he had the Beatles dressing up as women, assassinating the Prime Minister of the day, who was a woman, and the country torn with civil war. The Beatles, suffice to say, turned it down. It was just too outrageous for them. And I went and found it, bought a copy of it, and always I wanted to do it because I thought it was just such it needed to be done. So we did it. I did it in a fringe theatre in Fulham. And it was like all the nationals came down to review it because it was a world premiere. It was an autumn premiere. It was just had to be reviewed. They had to put in notices about it. I always wanted to be a painter, Rachel. I didn't want to play in a band. I didn't want to learn to play the guitar. I wanted to be a painter, but my mum said there's no money in it. So I learned to play the guitar. There's no money in that either. Manchester, Manchester, England. Manchester, I'll always love Irish, smoking married couples dressing down for the weekend, pet shop girls and typists tit-tapping in Tipperary dance halls, hard-faced villains dressing up for the drinking clubs while suburbia sits watching television. Bouncers in tuxedos with butterflies round their necks, love tattooed on the right hand and hate on the left. Stone roses just like angels, heaven is this nice. Fancy by the shop girls, admired by the sweatshop boys. So we're sitting in the snow bar, waiting for Jace the Ace. Hooky's by the jukebox, doing his splendid to entertain. Look at Tony Wilson, live on Channel 4. But we're Rodney Marsh, cause best on sale again. Manchester, Manchester.